going to use my tabletop greenhouse, the one that I usually use for trade shows, to give a little bit of a demonstration as to how to put a cover on. A couple of things before you get started that is very important. One, you run your hand along the ridge if you didn't do so during construction, just to verify that there are no burrs along the ridge that could potentially do damage. The other thing, of course, is to make sure that you already have your wire lock channel on the end arches. It is important that you start from the bottom and go over the top so that there are no raw edges that could catch the cover. If you did have that, you would need to wrap those ends with duct tape before you get started. It's also important, since you're going to be rolling the cover out along the side, that you just walk the area, double check that there are no sharp stones, dead weeds, other sharp objects that could potentially cause a problem. If it is muddy when you're rolling this out, it's important that you roll the cover out in such a way that when you're putting it over, the muddy side will be outside so that the rain can wash it off. Now, once you have it rolled out, you're going to grab the corner and just wrap the rope around a couple times, a simple knot, no complicated knots. You're going to be throwing the rope over, but put a ladder or some sort of device against both ends so that a person can pull the cover to the top first before pulling it down. If you throw the rope over and pull it from the back side, you will do damage trying to get it around the corner. If you have a building that is a little bit longer, it's helpful if one person will be standing in the middle, basically with his back to the cover, and help it over like that. So now once you have it pulled over, you're going to center it, and it's not that difficult to center, and we're not talking like a matter of inches, roughly centered. What you're going to do once you have it centered is attach it at the peak first. So you will simply pull the cover and start to install like this. 12 to 18 inches is fine. Now you're going to go to the other end and do the same thing there. You have to remember that you have a ridge here, so it will be sitting smooth. It's easy to pull it tight, but it is critical to pull it tight lengthwise first. Once you have that done, now you're going to go halfway down the length and fasten it here and the other side. So you've got, now what you've done is you've got your job divided into 4 equal quarters. If your extra help has to leave, this is okay, because now it's manageable even if the wind is starting to pick up. What you will do then is, depending on, like, if the wind is starting to pick up, you will do, if the wind is coming from this direction, you're going to do this quarter first. If you take a minute to stand inside the building, it is very easy to see where there are some wrinkles. And you're going to do the part that's got the wrinkles first. If you have wrinkles, it is critical you pull 90 degrees to the wrinkle. If the wrinkle is going down this way, you're pulling lengthwise. If the wrinkle is going horizontal, you have to pull down. Most of the time, the wrinkle is going to go on an angle like that, and then, which means that you have to pull down this way. So now you can see, as I start to pull down like this, the wrinkles that were there are gone. Now, installing the wire lock is totally a wrist action. It's generally suggested, without experience, that one person is going to be pulling, and you're always pulling a minimum of 12 inches ahead of where the wire is going to go or where the fastener is going to go. When you're putting the insert in, you can see like this insert now has to go in. So I'm pushing on the next bump, and this just goes back and forth. Try not to slide the wire back and forth because that will abrade it. Now, if you're in a situation where you have double plastic cover, once you have it tacked here, 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 and here, you're going to be pulling the second cover over it. Roll it out, tie the ropes across, and pull it. But be careful, again, not to pull the rope across the top because you will abrade those edges. And that, in a nutshell, is how you put the cover on.